Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Aqueduct. Sunny skies on this Thursday. The temperature will be in the 60s. The main track is fast. The turf courses are firm. The portable rail is up at 24 feet on the outer turf and at 9 feet on the inner turf. No carryover in the pick six, and here now today's changes. First race, scratch the 3, Contrive. Scratch number 3, Contrive. In the second, scratch number 2, Kumar. Scratch number 2, Kumar, out of the second. The third race will begin the middle pick 4, scratch number 2, Suspended Campaign. Scratch the 2, Suspended Campaign. In the fourth race, a rider change on the 9, Psychic Income, to Manny Franco. Manny Franco rides number 9, Psychic Income. Race 5, no changes. In the sixth race, a rider change on the 1, Glynn County, to Manny Franco. Manny Franco rides number 1, Glynn County, and scratch the 7, Unbridled Bomber. Scratch number 7. No changes in race 7. In the eighth race, a rider change on the 1, Derry Nane, to Dylan Davis. Dylan Davis rides the 1. The 2 is 1 pound over, and scratch 5, Jill's a Hot Mess, and the also eligibles 11 through 14. Scratch 5 and 11 through 14. And in today's ninth and final race, scratch 10, Happy Bob, and 11, Tiger Town Boy. Ninth race, scratch 10 and 11. We'll come back at 11:50 to recap the changes. First race post today is at 12:20. Up next, the November 10th edition of Talking Horses with Andy Serling and Anthony Stabile.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Talking Horses. Anthony Stabile, Andy Serling, back in action. We are now at Aqueduct.
We're back.
This is, in fact, Aqueduct.
See what I just did?
It's no longer...
We're back.
We're back?
BAQ.
Oh, yeah, it's that clever. It's only clever if somebody can figure it out. Anyhow, we're back at Aqueduct. It's nice to be at Aqueduct. It's nice to be back in New York. We have a lot to talk about. We got a little late start, so we're going to get to work on today's card, and you head over to Naira Bet. I'm guessing we don't have a Cup 25 anymore. But
we don't.
Is that Life is Good?
I believe it still is, sir.
We had him on before? Match 200? Oh, it's the same thing, but it's just without the match 200.
Black
match
it out.
$200. And I'll say it right now, if you don't realize how good Life is Good is after his effort, and you know, it's funny, as good as he was winning those races, I think we got an idea just how good he was finishing 5th in the Breeders' Cup Classic. And I think he played such a huge instrumental role in that race being as incredibly exciting as it was. And, you know, and there's a very reasonable argument without Flightline in there that he wins the race. And I think I always respect him, and I know you did too, but I felt like my respect for him grew.
That was kind of like a Zenyatta syndrome. Losing to Blame made me realize...
Well, it gave you another one. He gains more respect as a talented racehorse than if he had run the Breeders' Cup Mile again, which he was never running.
Joke.
Right, he should have run the Breeders' Cup Sprint. He would have won that by about 5 lengths. Anyhow.
That's what they should have done, you're right.
No, they ran him the right race. They ran him the race they're
No,
supposed
if
to
they
run him
want to
in.
win, and
They ran him in the race
point
they're supposed to run him in.
Yep.
They ran him the way they were going to run him, and he just ran into a pretty good horse. $15 bonus. You bet 75 or more in Aqueduct and Churchill. Of course, we'll be covering that. America's Day at the races, 12 to 5 or 5:30 today. We'll talk about that in a minute. Opt in over at Naira Bets. What else do we have? Saturday contest, $300 buy-in, cash and seat prizes. Head on over to naira.com/contest up to 5 o'clock tomorrow. And as we were saying,
Adder.
Adder.
I go at Adder.
Adder. Adder's right.
I go at Adder. I don't know if any of it's right, Andy.
Yeah, there's probably some language in space somewhere. that gets that. Anyhow, today's first race, I know that your top choice was scratched out of today's first race. You scratched in the same horse that I do. I think this
wasn't
horse...
a lot to talk about here, was there?
Here?
Were any of them?
Well, we'll talk about them. I have plenty to talk about.
All right.
Horse supposed to be okay. Todd Pletcher will be a shorter price. Irad, who had another good weekend. He already set the earnings record this year. He is having a phenomenal year.
Amazing, isn't it?
He is. And
he's got a couple of big days left.
Yeah, I want to talk about a couple of horses. Pardon Moi. Sort of a shame Acacia's not here for Pardon Moi. Should be very excited for do a little French pronunciation of the show.
She does love doing the French.
Got his 2-year-old sales workout, and her sales workout, excuse me.
Look at how far she's off the rail, Andy.
A lot of them are off the rail in the workouts. Usually they are. I thought she was very impressive in here. She really wasn't ridden that hard in there, 10 and a 5th, and I thought she really looked pretty solid in there. I'll get a little urging for the gallop out there as they hit the turn, but thought a very good workout. And I'll tell you something else. I thought the workout for the Tom Morley horse, the number 2 audit committee, who worked the same sale and a 10 and a 5th. Take a look. I actually wanted a Curious Mag's impression. Tom has him. Kind of looked a little funny getting going early, but I thought this horse really started kicking in the second part of the workout. And you're right with this one down the rail. This horse really kicked in later. Sold for $100,000 is a hap to Septimus Severus, who I want to say broke maiden first time out for George Weaver here at Aqueduct.
I like that.
I think.
That sounds about right.
I feel like I've got a Charlie Baker horse in that race that might have gotten beaten a zop. Does that sound right?
That all sounds right.
Yeah, I think so.
That all sounds right. Wow.
Thought those horses both worked pretty well and both might be kind of dangerous in this race. Shug has a firster as well, Biloxi Blues, but Shug's firster,
turf,
this
right?
horse is all turf on the dam side.
Turf and long.
Most of Joe Allen's horses, the dam side is turf, to be honest.
Yeah.
And even really one of the best dirt horses, probably the best Warfront that he had. He's turned out to be a very efficient sire in general, but also a very good turf sire as well. Race number 2. I like a horse in race number 2. I didn't want to give it out in the show. I wanted to keep it for myself. But I think Greeley and Ben, and we'll take a look at him finishing 4th in the Bold Ruler. Ran terrific.
Unbelievable, right?
Ran terrific in a fast race. And, the mistake that I made in the Breeders' Cup, I really tried to make the winner of the Breeders' Cup sprint because I don't really, as you know, I'm not Jackie Warrior's biggest fan.
I know that.
I couldn't really make Elite Power, but one thing about it was how the big figure that horses in this race got. They all improved because the 1st and 5th place finishers all came out and were distantly behind him in the Vosburg, where he did have the run of the race. Regardless, Paul really aged while I was gone. He ran well in there, and he just found a field. He just
found his friends.
Boy. He qualifies for this starter.
We've seen the starter. We haven't seen the starter 10 for a while around here, right?
All right. Well, he's going to be. Because here is by far.
You wanted to say here's the thing just.
No, I want to say by far here's his biggest competition. Silly K.
No
Silly
question.
We'll show his last race where he
it.
won easily, but the relative comparison, the kind of horse he's been running against. I do think Silly Key will, prefer. I think cutting back to 6 helps him.
Probably helps him.
But he's got to totally hope that the favorite just doesn't show up.
He'd have to find form from a year and a half ago to even sniff the chalk.
Yeah, he has 1 race in his career, maybe 1.5
well,
races.
Those 2 races back in August in Belmont at April and May of last year. Those 2 races are the only 2 races that could even come close.
He was okay earlier in his career.
He was.
No, as a newly turned 3-year-old,
He was Linda's 2000th winner.
He was.
He was.
Linda's, yeah.
I called him. I was up there. It was a stallion.
I think Linda and I were talking about that.
I think he beat Dream Bigger that day.
He did. That's correct.
I was in a booth.
No, I don't think Dream Bigger finished.
No, he finished like 3rd or 4th.
It was like 4th. It was a 4-horse field, I think.
4 or 5 horse field. Yeah.
He's okay. I like that Scott Lake's been running more horses here.
Yeah.
Easy Day is in good form, but
we picked the races.
I'm not trying to beat.
This looks as chalky as it comes, right?
Silly Key. So race number 3, my top choice was scratched out of here, and races where your top choice are scratched just become annoying. Go ahead, you can talk about your top choice.
I'm just hoping she's a black belt, goes to the top, and Blue Paint is able to sit a good trip right off, stretch him back out to a mile. I think this is this filly's best distance, going a little bit longer. I like the mile races. And I would imagine she's just going to sit off of, she's a black belt who is bringing sprint speed to the game, to the table here. Just get her in a good spot.
But which one of her competition is going to be compromised by it? Because both Girl of Toscanova and Vegas Weekend have enough speed to be close.
They do.
What exactly tactical advantage are we going to get by her sitting off of an seemingly overmatched speed?
I'm hoping she's able to just get a little separation earlier
I don't
on.
see
She's
her
got
being-
3 months. It's the second start off.
But
3
she's
months.
just not much faster.
And
than
she's
her.
stretching out. I think no. I think
no
the
faster than Vegas
intent.
Weekend.
I think the intent will be there more with her to work out
Why?
that trip.
Why
well,
are you
because
sure
the
that-
rider's a little bit more aggressive.
Jose Lozano's not aggressive.
He is, but she's not. She doesn't have the speed she had.
So you think that
since the claim.
Jose with a horse is going to allow him to tactically take advantage? Okay, I don't agree, but okay, that's fine. Listen, I don't like any of them, to be honest with you.
Well, that's
because
and
I
that's
like
the other,
I
that's
like
the
to
other
spend a
point.
campaign because I didn't want any of these horses, so I'm stuck with a bunch of horses I'm not particularly thrilled with. And one of them is My Sweet Wife, who, was very logical last time out. But one of the reasons she was logical last time out is she was meeting an overmatched field. And I know she did run a figure that if she translates it here, can win. But I just feel like last time was the time with her.
Isn't it
These
hard
are
to
just
trust that?
better horses.
Isn't it hard to trust that fig a little bit? And I know she's had a wet track fig that was even better than this, but
Timeform thinks it's Timeform had it lower. I will say that. Timeform did not think that much of the race.
she did not beat much.
No,
It's
I
a
agree. She
condition
beat
claiming
Valorand,
race.
who's not much. No,
Yeah.
you get no argument from me.
And now she's running into, for the most part, some, I'm not saying they're world beaters, but, Vegas Weekends kept better company. And
He looks great. He looks great for spring training, doesn't he? He really does. We'll see.
I did miss you.
I guess like Blue Paint can win. Girl of Toscanova can win.
You really,
Blue,
I'm like you. I really kind of don't want any of
Blue
them.
Paint did get left last time. Got a very good ride thereafter, but did get left last time.
That kid can ride. That kid's a good rider.
Okay.
That kid's a good rider.
Okay. Okay. No opinion.
He's better than them guys down there. I can tell you that.
Where?
At Parks. He's better than those guys.
Adorno's, what's his name?
Adorno's good.
Right.
Kevin's kid is good, but this kid's.
So why
to me,
can we trade, send Kendrick back? Kendrick, you're all right with that, right? I'm going to ask Kendrick. Kendrick's no longer a Parks rider. He's a NYRA rider. He's a New York rider.
Yeah.
We've given him that. How long has Kendrick been here? You see he was coming back to ride, by the way?
You remember when I tried to get Kendrick to come here?
No.
you-
Do you know
I-
who's
you and I had the
coming
conversation.
back to ride? Not here, but
Romero.
Romero's
Romero's
here.
back. Who?
He said it, you don't even know. Rajiv is going to be riding again.
Oh, in Jamaica.
Rajiv Mirage, he said he was going to go to Gulfstream, I think, to get some mounts, and then he's going to be riding in Jamaica. Naja and I are lining up a trip down
I
there
saw that on
to
Twitter.
fully support Raj as
I'll
he
be there.
returns.
If you guys get to Jamaica, I'll be there.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
Take
Anyway,
Winston
race
with-
number
take Winston
4.
with us.
Race number 4 kicks off. I'm taking
Our own tour guide.
race number 4 kicks off the pick 6. Pick 4, the middle pick 4 starts in race number 3.
Yes.
Race number 4. Why do you like Sean the Hammer?
Like's a strong word, Andy.
Well, you picked him.
Yeah, I know, because we have to make selections. This
It's
is the race.
liking is a euphemism for the horse you picked.
This is the race. This is the race I would have liked to have skipped today. Super Quality's cutting back. Psychic Income's last race was just awful with the blinkers. I know it was against much better. It's a process. It was a process of attrition for me. I don't love the double, the long break between both starts for this horse, but I had nowhere else to really go. I really just had nowhere else to go.
Okay.
We'll
Talk about some reasons to actually like him. His last race, we'll show his last race. He ran extraordinarily well the last time he ran. He's the number one in this race.
Oh, he's the one?
He breaks well, and he sends him because he has the rail and he's got to go. But as it turns out, it gets kind of hot on him. And the pace for this quality of horse, the pace was pretty contentious in there. I thought he ran well. So he takes back, he lets him go, and this horse has already been used. And this is when Ready finally got a dry track and into a reasonable spot. He kept getting wet tracks and in tough spots. So he lets the other horses go, and he gave this horse a very good ride. But this horse that I thought for this quality of horse and this quality of race, this horse did a heck of a lot of running because he's used there. And he ends up coming out, and you're going to see him. He comes back, and he gets the lead, and then Ready, I believe, is going to catch him. I believe he makes the lead from here, and I think Ready gets him from behind. I think we ready.
He already gets him the last couple of jumps.
Yeah, and you see him sort of waiting to come through on the inside. I thought this horse ran extremely well last time when you think about the dynamics of the race and how he was aggressive. And We Ready had reasonable form coming into this as well. And the race basically kind of fell apart in the very late stages, and he was a big part of the pace. So I thought it was a very, very good record for him. Now, Rudy has sort of funny numbers because overall in the 4 to 8 month layoff thing, he 4 to 8 months in dirt sprints, he's a 748, 82 cents. But with maidens in dirt sprints, he's 4 for 11. Maiden claimers, he's only 2 for 6, and the ROI is not good. But he has had some success doing this. I thought his last race was very, very good. Psychic Income, Manny Franco's riding, by the way. I think he's very dangerous, Psychic Income. He's dropping back down. He was in just so dramatically over his head last time. He had absolutely no shot whatsoever. I don't know, 6 furlong fits him, but I like Super Quality because...
Sean the Hammer, by the way, also waiver today.
Ooh, the infamous waiver. Good call, thank you. Super Quality to me is a very interesting horse because he's coming off a dead rail trip. And I want horses off dead rail trips on September 29th and 30th. And he was buried down the rail, and he was going too far, and he was going against tougher horses. So he gets off a dead rail, going too far, cuts back in distance, 6 off a layoff, who I agree is the horse to beat. Psychic Income, he can win. I won't be shocked if he does. Should have won his first race. I'll tell you something. The horse who beat him first time, and he did all the running in there, horse who beat him first time has been a disaster since then.
Yeah.
And North Pole loses to everybody.
Those are just not good. Yeah, it's just not good horses. That's the problem with him.
But
and he's never won 6.
We can show his first race. Why don't we show that?
Want to show it?
Let's show it. Would you like to show it?
Yeah, not really. I took a beat. I got beat on the money.
This was some beat. I did the dumbest thing you can do. I was somewhere, and they were gotten at this point in the race, and I got up to go.
Oh, I remember this. You were in the boxes with me.
No, I wasn't.
No?
I was not in the boxes. I came to the boxes because I figured Seth would go to the winner's circle. I jinxed him here. This was some beat this horse took. I wasn't even sure he got beaten at that point.
I thought he held on.
Yeah, that was some beat that horse took.
But then I realized I bet him, so I realized he had it.
Anyway, he could win, cutting back in distance and dropping down to the lowest level he's ever run at, race number 4. Race number 5. So, let's talk about, I got the both-sided printing for today. It's been a gigantic.
I know. I looked at that just now. This is
We printed
unnerving.
him up in Boston, and I wanted to have him for the train ride back to get some work done.
Saving the universe. Yeah.
Well, I'm all about that, but it's just
It's very good. It's difficult to do that
it's
up here.
tough for the show.
Yeah.
We'll take a look at Lucky Mucho Man, Lucky whatever, maybe favorite in here. You have second. I have
What a lucky Mucho Man. They took the time to name him. Get it right, please. Lucky, a very lazy name, though. It's Lucky and then Mucho Man. I mean, come on, Patty.
That's the thing.
Yeah, you know what? You're right.
It's either that,
the 5.
It's either that or a name they want you to pronounce a different way than it's spelled.
Yeah, Lucky
So
Mucho
at least
Man.
this one
This is
you-
Lucky Mucho Man.
So he beat North Pole, and he might be
Poor
favored
North
in this
Pole.
race.
Poor North
And
Pole.
I'm sorry, but and let me say something else. I believe there was an incident in this race, right?
Yes.
I think there was. So I'm not taking a horse that's out of nowhere, ran a big figure, and is going to be short against winners. Maybe he's improved a lot, but
Why
he
you
beat
put him
North
anywhere,
Pole.
huh?
No, I don't want this horse. What was that?
Well, we got them all covered We got them all covered this race. The winner is on the screen, folks, in our selections.
Anyway, you've got
I went down
Amadeus
to his
Music.
music, fresh gelding. He's had almost 2 months between the gelding. Kind of
You picked
feel
him
like
because you just assumed Jeffrey Englehart's going to start winning a lot of races.
I picked Jeffrey
let's
Englehart.
start
There was a little
pretending
Jeffrey Englehart. I
why-
picked the fresh gelding, and I can't. If Lucky Mucho Man can find his last race, he'll probably win. If Maxim Moment can find a couple of those California efforts, he'll probably win. I don't trust either of them to do that, and especially if Lucky Mucho Man is going to be the favorite. David has him 5-2 morning line.
I don't like Maxim Moment.
I put him 4. I mean, he has races in California that would beat these horses.
Yeah, I saw this race differently. I do have Amadeus Music third.
You don't like
he did not get. He
Jace
did,
Talker at all? I just
No,
thought
he's
throw the sloppy track race out.
Why?
And he ran against much. I mean, he ran against
Why-
much
why-
better
why
horses,
throw out
didn't
the-
he?
why throw out
I
the
still
slot?
think he handled it
why?
because he ran for a quarter of a mile and stopped.
Okay. Well, you're surprised. You wanted 6 furlongs against a terrible field first time out. He had no chance.
I'm not
last time.
surprising. No.
So you like him at a mile and an eighth?
I mean, he's going to be in front of these horses.
Really? Sure he's going to be in front of my horse?
Yeah.
Really? Because he's not supposed to be. Because on speed, my horse is faster. But maybe Jose lets him go, but my horse is faster. I'm just looking for an angle in here. I found an angle. Stretching out on the dirt off the claim. Linda Rice is 15 for 37. We have a stat. 15 for 37, 41% with a 229 ROI. And first route off the claim, she's 7 for 18. Not a positive ROI, but this horse is going to be a good enough price.
Oh, yeah.
So she claims this horse and right away stretched him out. I like the move in a race where I don't like anybody. Because Amadeus Music bumped break. No.
No.
No, not bump break. What I would say about that race was the race collapsed, and he made a bit of a middle move in that race into the pace, and he didn't really run that badly after. It was a bad race, but he didn't do that. He did some running in the race, so I'm going to give him some credit for that. I don't really love him, but he's not impossible. I've got him third. I thought Spites, how do you pronounce it? Spites per Comet?
Yeah.
Spites per Comet? Per Comet? Per Comet? Per... I gotta get upstairs soon. Big day today.
That was random.
I'm gonna throw him in, even though he stunk last time. But I thought it might have been a better field last time. No, I'm taking the 2 on the strictly on the stats and the stretch out. Odd horse for Linda to stretch out.
This is an important race. You know, fifth race has become very important now. End of the pick 5, start of the pick 5, end the early pick 4, start third leg of the middle pick 4.
We got 4 races to go. Can we get to our
Yeah,
commercial
pick
break?
6. So yeah.
We'll be back. Bye. We're coming back.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.
We're back. One of the things that the reason Anthony and I get along is we find a lot of the same things funny, because they are funny.
they're impossibly funny because things that go on that just should not happen at this point.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It really is amazing.
Make a great point.
So race number 6, because I know Anthony is going to pick Cold Hard Cash. I put the replay first.
How'd you know?
Because I know you. He's a terrible choice, and I figured you'd pick
He's
him.
4-1.
He's a terrible choice. He's not going to win this race. But go ahead. Have at it. Tell us why you like him.
Why are you going to pick on me? It's been a couple of weeks.
Right.
He's another horse that's supposed to get a good trip. I thought he was supposed to trip
What does
out
that
right
mean?
off the tide.
What does that mean?
Hey, well,
Lots of
he's
horses
supposed
get
to
good
sit
trips.
right off the tide of the sea.
No, he isn't. Tide of the Sea's not going to be in front anyway.
Who's going to be in front?
I would assume a Tone is going to be in front. If they're not sending the Tone to the front, then they should turn around and just go back to the backstretch with him. What are you talking about? You mean in front? The Tone's a lot faster than him. And Tide of the Sea. He's not fast, this horse. He's going to be sitting second in this race. He could be sitting 4th, maybe, if he gets the right ride. But Dreams of Tomorrow is going to be in front of him.
No City Man's in here. No Goofo in here.
So what? So he had a good post last time. He was 4 in a race that had no pace because nobody went. Doesn't mean he has speed here. Good luck to him.
Linda's squeezing one more in before the turf season ends.
Good luck to him. I think Atoned is just not only do I think Atone's going to win, I think the other half of the entry is going to finish second. Now, I got Atone on top. You seem like the other half of the entry. We'll take a look at Atone. This is when he finished 4th.
Manny Franco on Glenn County.
He got kind of lost on in this race. I thought Dylan got lost, but he wasn't going to be in front. The horse was the speed, was the Melvin horse. What's his name? Horse ran the Breeders' Cup?
Melvin.
Bye Melvin.
He's in the red cap.
Nice beat. Nice beat. He got a very good ride by Dylan, but he just got out too late. Too late to win. This is a much better field than he's running against today. He runs second to Some Like It Hot Brown his next race. And then last time out, he actually didn't run that badly. That race fell apart. He never saw the rail. All the horses that ran well, except Ivar, were basically down on the inside, including Order of Australia. He's taking a gigantic drop in class. I mean, I just think he's a zillion lengths the horse to be. You like the air after the entry? You don't even have him top
I had
anywhere.
I had 1A. I should have put it the other way, I guess.
Glen County's dropping, but I just think Atona's a much better horse than him. I wonder if Dreams of Tomorrow will run better. He was awful last time, but he also didn't get that a nickel. They announced that he had no chance last time.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to decipher that, though, in here, because he doesn't figure to take much money here either. With the
Well, we'll see.
with two
He gets
Chads
bet more
in
than
here,
that.
cold hard cash, the entry's going to be even money.
Out of sympathy, I have value engineering second, but I mean, I wonder if he can run at all anymore.
Yeah,
But he's still running figures fast enough.
Yeah, the figs are fast enough, right? I don't know. I'm kind of sick of these. This entry these horses don't win, and they're going to be even money. And I know they're dropping, but I didn't want them at even money.
Okay. We disagree. I think they're sort of a layover. Race number 7. Speaking of races with no form, we'll come to race
This was
number
something,
7.
huh?
So you picked Sweeter.
I went to Sweeter.
Tell me why.
Third start off of a.
You picked him because he's going Eric
10-month
Cancel
break.
after Castellano. You can say
And
it in
I
the show.
picked-
You don't
I
have to.
picked- I-
You don't have to
he's
make up
2
reasons.
sprints to a
You're like the
route
Woody.
and
You
the
ever see the Woody
rider
Allen movie
change.
Bananas?
You didn't let me get to it.
You ever? It's
I
the
had-
only
I
thing.
had
Again,
three
it's the only thing. You don't even
No,
get
I
to
had
it.
3 reasons,
You ever
Andy.
see Bananas, the Woody
Leave
Allen
me
movie?
alone. Yes, of course.
There's the great scene in Bananas when Woody Allen goes to the newsstand and he wants to buy the dirty magazines, and he comes up with like 7 different Time, Newsweek,
I
Sports
had
Illustrated,
3
and then he says
reasons.
one of those, and the guy screams out the name of it. That's you. You're gonna come up
had
with
3
he's
reasons.
got 4 legs. And Chris Englehart bought me a coffee last week.
He didn't.
He's pretty. He's 4 horses. Oh, and he's going to Henry Castellano from American Cell.
Stop.
You're so ridiculous.
He's third start off a long
I mean, it's
way
really
up.
nice how you're trying to be nice.
2 sprints to a route, and he gets a rider change. That was my spiel.
The other thing was that copy of Time and Newsweek before you got the dirty magazine. We know exactly what's going on here. Come on, you're not fooling anybody. You think I'm the only one not fooled by this? So this is a funny race, and I don't disagree. Your horse can win, but she can only win because you just don't want anybody else in here. Because I mean, you go through the field. It's a little tough to like anybody. Rain and Candy tried to run in the dirt once. She was awful. Now, to be fair, it was a speedy track that day. I mean, and they're not really dirt horses. Simple Sugar's tough to make. Merger of Equals' best chance is she has the speed. Just go to the front with her. I mean, I don't know what race. I guess April Antics isn't really even impossible here. To be honest, her race last time was fast enough. There was an awful field. Ice Cream Sunday's impossible to make. My Beauty Princess is really a turf horse. Or dirt
I had 2
races
things
are
I wanted to
atrocious.
do. I wanted to either pick Sweeter for the reason you put it out, or I literally wanted to come up here, really get you going, and just say, I picked the 8 Keen Dancer because this is the races Randy wins.
But you're right.
I'm well, but
And the
you
8
want to know what the problem is? She's way too short of a price to be one of the horses that Randy wins with.
The 8 is actually getting a better rider upgrade. Sorry, the 8's getting a legitimate rider upgrade. Now, as far as Ice Cold Gold, I'm taking him because I'm supporting you, Eric. While he's picking on you, I'm supporting you. I just want to be very clear on that.
This guy don't stop.
Not exactly why I did it, but I knew. This is the race, the horse finishing second back at Santa Anita on January 22nd. I like the symmetry. 22-1, 22. If it was Europe, they'd
Tomorrow's 11-11-22.
Anyway, this horse runs this race. She will absolutely gallop in here. And I know the 3 is probably the speed. Eric, good time to be aggressive with this horse with an outside post. I feel as though this horse is an all or nothing. She either cannot run at all anymore on the dirt, which is not impossible, or she's just going to beat this field because she is dropping off a cliff. And I think the thing that's important for people to remember about her is the last dirt race she ran here, not only was it off an almost 4-month layoff, but it was open 25. You could say what you want about True Empress and those horses. They're like great. They're like flight
Forget
line
about
compared to these horses she's running against. And sometimes these drop downs, they just wake them up. And I was talking to David about the line, and he said to me, he said, I said,
Like
you really
when
think this horse is going to be 8-1?
when you're a kid-
And he said, I have no idea.
When you're a
what the
kid
price
and they have
is
like column A and column B and they tell you to match, there were a lot of right matches in this field.
I agree. It's very, very hard to have a strong opinion on what the line. And you can see it in David's line. I mean, he's got, very, very close. Anyway, I feel like she's an all or nothing. Race number 8. as we are around to a precious few grass races. We're going to try to run the stakes on Sunday, I believe,
Yes.
with some rain coming tomorrow. Fortunately, it looks like the rain will come after. Great job of the office making the turf race tomorrow, the 1st and 3rd. Should be able to get through them, but then we're expecting to get some rain. It's just, we've had a lot of fortunate falls and fortunate weather situations. This year's not one of them. Let's take a look at your top pick, and I knew you'd pick her, Dairy Name. And I'm going to go back to her one good race this year, and this was at Keeneland. I'm going to say a couple things about her, and absolutely she can win this race. This is about it for her.
This is
And
it.
betting her, you're helped by the fact that Kokopelli gets in, but you're hurt by the fact because it kills the price even more.
Destroys the
and
price.
I'm going to say something about her. I'm beginning to wonder if she's a closing sprinter that wants less distance. That every extra half a furlong is not her friend. And I just really wonder if 6 furlongs, and I'm just beginning to wonder if she's just that good. She was a really promising 2-year-old. She ran well this day, and she has not been terrible, but she's been a massive disappointment. I know you and I both thought she was going to be a really, really good sprinter.
She has not been good.
And we were just wrong about her. Maybe we had just bad opinion.
She has not been good. If you're like me and you're picking her today, you're betting on her today, I mean, like you said, Kokopelli drawing in. I mean, she was going to be the favorite anyway, but now.
Now you got Ira. Is Joel riding this one?
No, Dylan Davis is on Dairy Name. So, yeah, I mean, she just, on the drop, she's supposed to get a little, there's supposed to be a little pace in here.
Yeah. I've had enough. I've got her second,
That's fine.
but I've had her. I want to go back to the birthday race for me, the last race on Belmonte. I was back in my apartment for this. I left after the Belmont Stakes and got home by the time the 13th was run.
Wow.
That was my birthday present. I didn't have to work the hour show after the Belmont. We'll take a look at that race.
Interesting.
I thought she ran very well. And I'll tell you something about blaming on Mary. She's not going to get betting here. They liked it better on the turf, on the dirt. They liked it better on the wrong surface. I thought her race here in September was huge, where she was obviously too big a pace. I thought she ran price. She ran terrific in here. Palace Gossip is a funny horse because she is the right horse returning to a sprint, but she's a little dressed up in her last 2 races because she rode a gold rail. So even though she's running the wrong distance, it doesn't look that bad, but she was on a gold rail in both of them. I think they're the right 2 horses in here. I think they're both much better in Towering Orbit. And I was talking about this line with David. I think Palace Gossip and Blame on America be 2nd and 3rd choices behind the entry.
Probably. Yeah.
I think they are. I could be wrong, but I think they are.
Yeah, Palace Gossip makes a whole lot of sense in here.
No Eddie Barker, you've turned on Eddie?
I put him 4th.
I'm your loyal friend, Eddie. See, I'm
Put him 4th.
up here. Let's go to the last race because we're going to have to get out of here.
You have to get out of here.
No, if I do, you do.
Yeah, I know.
So, tell us about Cleat.
Talked about Cleat last time as the chalk. You were kind of surprised I didn't like Cleat last time. I thought it was Bill.
No, I liked Warfighter last time.
No, you were surprised I didn't like Cleat.
No, what I was we was talking to you about was you're the one who said that you thought the horse wanted more distance. No, you liked Cleat.
No, I didn't like Cleat. I said Cleat wanted more distance. I thought it was. I
think the other thing was
No,
around.
no,
I feel like no, I disagree. I want to go back to videotape and that. I think you're
Go
not.
check
I think you're,
tape.
I think
didn't
you're
like
full
the
of it.
source.
I said to Bill Mott, who was giving me a hard time because I said he was putting the horse in the wrong race, that her best chance, I don't know what to do with him because I don't think he's that good. But his best chance is a turf route to try to wire the field. And he is the speed of the speed in here. The problem is this is a very good field.
It is. It's good. It's a pretty good
He's
field.
going to have to run very well to win this race. I've got him 2nd, almost because I feel out of loyalty I had to put him 2nd. But he's going to have to run a lot better than he's ever run.
He is, but he's
to
also
beat
got 3
in
horses in here that are going to take a good deal of money. And Caesar of Boston, the favorite's going to be Indemnify, who's probably going to be
No,
closer.
Caesar Boston will probably be favored.
No way.
Anthony, you've completely got this race.
Andy, it's a Rad and Chad.
It doesn't matter.
You want to bet a lunch?
No, because it's Irad and Chad. But
I'll give you
Caesar
2 to 1.
Boston.
I'll give you 2 to 1.
No, Caesar Boston should be favored in here.
Whether he should be or not, yeah, I don't disagree with you.
I'm not sure you do. You've got the 7 over the 5, which is sort of hard to believe. But forgetting about that, let's take a look at that race. I'm going to show the first quarter mile and then the last quarter mile. To compare the 2 trips that these 2 horses had, and to believe, other than Siege of Boston dumping Junior at the start, that Indemnify is going to beat him today is a little hard to imagine because he's the horse in the 10 horse is Siege of Boston. He's the one who's out in the 4 to 5 path. The one on the rail, Indemnify, who didn't even get by Siege of Boston, that's Indemnify. Look where Siege of Boston is going this year. Look where he was. Look where he ends up. And look where Indemnify was. And it's kind of remarkable that Indemnify didn't beat him. And listen, maybe Indemnify improves 5 lengths, then it'll have to, and Siege of Boston takes a step back. And here's Siege of Boston making the middle of, Indemnify's just sucking along on the rail, doing no running. Siege of Boston's been out in the 4-path, basically the whole way around the racetrack, attacking, trying to win the race. Indemnify's getting this perfect trip, perfect ride with Pratt on the rail. He comes out, he can't even get by Siege of Boston. This might be one of the most pathetic photo finish losses for second and third of the entire year when you compare the 2 trips. And if it wasn't Karlovich and Chad Brown, there's no way anybody in your right mind would bet Indemnify over Siege of Boston.
I'm going to tell you what it is for me, and you're going to laugh even harder.
You didn't watch that race. That's what it is for you.
It's the blinkers.
You're
just hoping that it gets this horse to. They thought this horse was going to be okay.
So the blinker's going to be 8 lengths.
I don't know.
Stop.
Andy, he beat him a zop, and I know he had a tough trip.
If Indemnify was 8-1, and the 5 was even money, and you wanted to come up with the blinker story, that's fine. But you can't come up with it when they're 7-5, and you've told me you're 100% sure, basically.
He'll be favored over Siege
I'll take
of Boston.
3-1.
I'll give you 3-1, but you got to put up 2.
That's fine. We're at 113.
Okay.
6-2.
Yeah, you could have 6-2.
5 shorter than 7.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to have to call Steve and see if he can make that parlay that bet he made the other day to beat. Okay. We're out of time.
Call Steve and ask him about cleat, too. About the cleat discussion last time.
Steve will remember.
Yeah.
Look at it. We can go back to the videotape. I think it was a slight diversion from that.
I didn't pick him. You were stunned.
Anyway,
nice
nice to be back.
Yes, good to see you.
Nice to be back. No, it wasn't, because you've picked every single Linda Rice second-time star that's run over the last. And you know what's interesting? Not one of them has won. But you picked continuously.
But I didn't pick Cleat.
Anyway.
I said I wanted them on the stretch out, so I picked
I
them
gotta
today.
I'm going to have to go to the bathroom before I get on the set.
Do what you got to do, man.
I have to go on the set. And I don't really, I'm with Maggie, and that really wouldn't be very nice to her. Anyhow, Heather and Naira bets.
Just Maggie? Would be nice to anybody. It's Cameron.
Well, Kyle will be up there. Head over to NairaBets.com. If you're not a member, use the promo code MATCH200. We will match the $200 of your initial deposit. We have a $15 bonus if you bet 75 or more at Aqueduct and Churchill.
Both places, correct.
Both.
Got to opt in.
Opt in. Do you have to opt in? You need to opt in, right?
Just do it all.
Got to be some opting in.
Opt in for everything through Monday, so just don't do it.
Get over there and opt in. We have a contest. You have until 5 o'clock tomorrow. Head over to Naira.com/contest. $300 buy-in, cash and seat prizes. And last, but some version and not least, Paul's gone from the TV. 12 to 5:30.
Like to say it was done in the gazebo?
Thursday, November 10th. Is tomorrow Veterans Day, 11/11?
Yeah, today's the birthday of the Marines. Tomorrow's Veterans Day.
Tomorrow's Veterans Day.
11/11 at 11:11 a.m.
So we don't celebrate on, because they made it sort of a Monday for a while, right?
No.
We used to race on the Monday for Veterans Day, didn't we?
No, we raced on Veterans Day, whatever it was. We raced Tuesday Election Day, whatever Veterans Day was.
I know, we raced on Tuesday Election Day.
And
there were no NBA games. All right, Steve's checking in. Let's see what he has to say.
Don't you have to go?
See what he has to say. No, let's see what Steve has to say.
Oh, okay.
By the way, do you know how many more feet Siege of Boston ran on Trackus than Indemnify?
63.
You're close, 152.
Wow. Joe Louis, 137 years old.
Is he still boxing? He probably still kick my butt.
From coming to America.
We're done. It's good to be back. Johnny, I'll be up next with the reprise Scratch and Change. Have a great day here at the Big A. We're back at the Big A.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.